Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Welcome into Raiders Game Day, presented by America First Credit Union. I am Aaron Coscarelli, alongside my guys, Marcel Reese, Eric Allen, my shutdown corner, setting the edge. By the way, impeccably dressed. How great do they look?
We all look good.
Bringing the heat week 4. I like it as we are breaking down week 4's matchup against the Buffalo Bills. Gentlemen, real quick, we didn't pull off a win, but what is your quick takeaway? What stood out to you in tonight's game?
Again, just blunders in the second half, EA. You know, it's one of those things where you want to see your team make those adjustments in the second half and elevate their play week in and week out, and just didn't happen for us today.
Yeah, it shows we're a good football team, but unfortunately we're not good enough to give the ball away, not take it away, the penalties. So more consistency we need to see on both sides of the ball.
Well, we'll get into specifics, gentlemen, in a moment. There is a lot to talk about. Here is what is on tap for today's show. Of course, we've got highlights, breakdown of today's game, player and coach reaction. We'll get you the press conference reactions shortly. And the 31st anniversary of Art Shell being named head coach of the Silver and Black. And of course, I'll look at next week's opponent, all of that and more coming up. Of course, let's get you caught up, though, with first half game action. Gentlemen, are you ready? Frontline medical workers, of course, here at Allegiant, lighting the Al Davis Memorial Torch.
Awesome sight.
And it was a tough start for the guys because heading into this game, we had a banged-up secondary, Damon Arnette on IR. Not the best time to play the third best offense in the NFL, guys, but Josh Allen getting it done, of course, finding his guy, Gabriel Davis, in the first quarter there. Derek Carr firing it, of course, finding his guy, Zay Jones, the 16-yard catch on 3rd and 11, missing a couple of wideouts, gents.
Missed a couple wideouts, but you saw some guys like Zay Jones playing his former team, wanting to step up and having that passion today. Nelson Aguilar making some plays early and often in the game. And check out Jonathan huge play.
Big time.
Those are the flashes that we want to see.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, play in and play out.
I mean, just such a big play player. We just love the way he plays football, and hopefully it's contagious.
Absolutely.
Jonathan Abram crashing the party. Cole Beasley, though, with the 11-yard score thanks to Josh Allen. 3rd and 10, Raiders on 24. Josh Allen pressured, forced to flip, but the defense says no. Allen left the game with an injury. He would return in the second half as you take a look at the replay here.
We'd like to see a lot more of those pressures. We want to see those quarterbacks not feeling comfortable. We want to see them stressed out for a change. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Josh Allen, terrific football player, has everything going right now for him.
The 4-minute offense, how about this? All about his tight ends. Of course, you see the left screen to Darren Waller, 22 yards right here, gents. But it was like the tight end show at the last 4 minutes of the game, of the first half.
You know, when you get down to those times where you want to make sure you get some quick plays, but have them be successful plays, you have the trickery going on, screen plays, deep balls, and you see shots like this. Those are the shots that Derek Carr is getting comfortable hitting, and you see Jason Witten getting involved today.
Tight ends were amazing today. Found some mismatches, and that's what it's all about. Causing mismatches, and our tight ends can get down on cornerbacks, too big for those guys, sometimes too fast for linebackers. Made some big plays today.
How about this mismatch, courtesy of number 82? He is wide open right here. Derek Carr firing and finding his tight end, Jason Witten.
That's what a veteran tight end and playmaker does. Find the open space and show the quarterback your chest or the target.
Yeah, for sure. That was an outstanding play. He's rolling right, sees Witten early, waits late, gives him a chance to get open, throws a great ball to him.
His first touchdown in a Raiders jersey. We will break down more Jason Witten action because he was key to tonight's game. As we're showing you first half stats, you have to, if you're the Raiders, feel good about what you were able to do, down by 14 points, 17-13 heading into the second half. But you kind of have to feel good of what you were able to do with Josh Allen and company coming to town.
You should feel good, but the reason why you should feel good, EA, is because you didn't play your best football, and you're playing against an undefeated Buffalo Bills football team, and you're still in the game. You're in striking distance. You go in with the score, and then you get the ball back. That's why they should have been feeling good. We all were feeling good going into halftime today, and then you want to add on to that when you come into the second half.
Yeah, I thought the first time in a couple weeks we didn't really win coming out after halftime. Had some struggles against the Patriots, but usually the first 2 weeks we saw this football team go into halftime, make some adjustments, and come out and play at a higher level. We just didn't play consistent football today. Defensively, again, a couple times we were off leverage-wise, didn't make the tackle we need to make, and penalties killed us on a couple drives.
Stick with me, guys, because we are going to show you how the second half played out here at Allegiant Stadium. Raiders game day. We'll be right back.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. By America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. By Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill. By Cox Business, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, welcome back, Raider Nation, here at Allegiant Stadium. A Week 4 showdown against the Buffalo Bills didn't go the Raiders' way as they are now 2-2 on the season. But guys, I'm curious to see how the second half played out here at Allegiant.
Yep.
Let's roll the tape. I know you both were here, but for folks at home, let's show you how the Raiders, the silver and black, closed things out. It started off well, a Josh Jacobs 16-yard run, gents.
We need a whole lot more JJ coming out of that backfield like that.
Yeah, they dictated for us, so we didn't get the chance to see him dominate the game today.
Derek Carr with the 10-yard scramble.
That's what we want to see
We need
right
some
there.
more DC too.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's some
saying?
quickness right there.
He is so athletic. He just use more of that.
Josh Allen finding John Brown at the goal line after the review, though he is ruled short. But Josh Allen, see, there you go. Take a look right there. What, did you guys think it was a touchdown?
It was a touchdown. It was a touchdown to me. But at the same time, that was a touchdown and a catch. But the DB was right on him, EA.
Yeah, it was close.
If we have more of that, we can win more of those battles than we lose.
Because you're not going to face a guy like Josh Allen every week.
Exactly.
Josh Allen running it up the gut, said, I'll do it myself for the touchdown. Jalen Richard with the 35-yard kick return to set up the Raiders as we take another
It's a
look.
big special teams play
Absolutely.
right there. I mean, that gets the juices going.
And here's something you might want to look away. The Darren Waller fumble, courtesy of Josh Norman finding and recovering, guys.
And as playmakers, we've all been there. I've been there myself, and I hate to admit it, but those are the plays where your team is down and you want to make a play. You want to do everything you can to make that play, and he's just doing a lot.
As a defender, after a turnover, you're thinking big play. So, you know, if you're in the secondary, you're calling it out. Hey, big play, watch a big play.
Yeah.
Josh Allen had a lot of time to be able to get the ball down the field.
And setting up the Devin Singletary 2-yard score. 30-17 is the score in the third. Hunter Renfrow, how
There he is
about
again.
him?
There he is again. He just makes huge plays at the right time.
Yeah, but outside the pocket. Look at Carr outside the pocket, making a great play down the field, trusting this guy on a 50-50 ball. Those are the kind of plays we love to see from Derek Carr.
Yeah, absolutely finding his guy. 5 for 57 for Hunter Renfrow, but the strip sack, no good. Of course, the Bills recover. Quentin Jefferson making it happen there for Buffalo. Certainly not what you want to see when it comes to the mistakes that the Raiders made, but they make it right. 4th and 1, Derek Carr finding Nelson Aguilar in the back of the end zone.
Nelson
7-yard
Aguilar
score.
again. You know, he's one of these guys who has just been making plays week after week, and he's building on it, EA.
Yeah,
He's
right.
building on it. He's ready for a breakout to
Love to
become
see it.
that veteran receiver that is there for DC every time he needs it.
I love to see it, and he is really the kind of veteran that you can count on in those situations. Almost every game you go to him, he's coming up with a big play for you.
And really, not only a phenomenal story for us as the Las Vegas Raiders, but also for Nelson Aguilar as an individual. Because
Yeah.
last year, people just counted him out as a veteran receiver.
It's a tough
And
place to play where he came
is
from.
making no doubt about him being a big play receiver right now.
I love it, gents. Coach Gruden now 2-2 heading into Week 5. How did he feel after the game? Why don't we listen?
Well, you saw the game. I mean, we got to get turnovers from our defense. That's a big story here also. We're not getting any turnovers. I think we've got one the whole season, maybe two. Guy made a great play on Waller. We're playing shorthanded up front, obvious passing situation, and Derek got stripped. Credit Buffalo. They got a good defense. But the penalties, I'm going to take a look at them. You can take a look at them yourself and see if some of those were you know, ones you agree on or disagree on. I disagree with a few of them, but I'm a Raider. Well, if you're watching Buffalo play, you know, they got 2-score lead. They're not going to give you chunk plays. We don't have a lot of time to stand back there and survey the defense, but I give our guys credit. We scored 23 points today. We had 4 points called back on a alignment error that we've been in that formation 1,000 times. You know, we played pretty good at times on offense with our 4th different right tackle, our 3rd different left guard, and a number of new receivers. So we'll take a look at the film, but we tried to stay aggressive. We made some plays down the field. One of them was called back, obviously, it hurt us. You know, we got a good young team. We're playing a lot of people. I'm really proud of our first quarter. Anybody's played a tougher schedule than us, tell me who it has. You know, we played Monday night against the Saints, across the country on a short week against the Patriots, and the Buffalo Bills are undefeated in a playoff team. And we're not going to get any sympathy next week either going to Arrowhead. So this is a great opportunity for us to continue to get better and look at our young players, and I'm proud of them. We've been in all these games, and we've won 2 and lost 2, and the first quarter's in the books. The fumbles, when you're in an obvious passing situation and you're throwing the ball and they know you're throwing the ball, you're going to get every coverage and every stunt and every look known to man. And the great pass rushers, they salivate in those situations. So, you know, the situation has a lot to do with it. We're very predictable and one-dimensional in those times, but we still got to clean it up. We're playing a lot of different linemen. There's a lot of things that have gone into that problem. And Paul Gunther went up in the field so he could see better. We're playing a lot of new players, and I think it worked out pretty good. I think his communication was good with the middle linebacker from the box, and I think he was good communicating with the staff as well.
All right, so there's a lot to break down. Obviously, Coach Gruden not happy with the loss, but certainly optimistic about what this game meant to him. I mean, scoring 23 points at home against Buffalo Bill. Look, they had a strong defense tonight, maybe not arguably in the past when it comes to this season. He mentioned only 1 turnover. They've had 2. Is that something moving forward you want to see from the defense to be able to cause and force turnovers?
Absolutely. Because, listen, the turnover battle dictates the game. If you win the turnover battle, you give yourself like a 75% chance to win the game. So you always want to win the turnover battle. Offensively, you want to take care of it. Defensively, you want to take it away.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of optimism, EC, to see from this team. Listen, everyone wants to be undefeated right now. It's just not reality in the NFL. Games are hard to win. There's a lot of variables that play a part in winning football games. This team at the end of the first quarter of the season is 2-2, and it's not a bad place to be. Yeah. It's not ideal. You don't want to lose any games, but it's not a bad place to be. You're a young team. You're going to be able to get better. You're going against a divisional rival next week, and then you have the bye week. You're going to get some guys healthy. You're going to come back.
That was the issue that he was talking about.
And then you get to play the rest of the season.
Yeah.
It's not down, Raider Nation.
Right.
This is the time where you just pick yourselves up, learn from your mistakes, and get better.
I think we're all frustrated a little bit about the inconsistency on defense. And I think the one thing we can do is really rely on all of these guys who are playing, guys who we didn't think were going to have this type of impact on this football team already. Nelson Aguilar, we talk about we're down to our 3rd corner right now at right cornerback. All these guys, when the team gets healthy, are going to be able to step in and make tremendous plays for their football team. And again, it's frustrating. Everyone's frustrated, but we have to continue to play consistent football and defensively get back to fundamentals. This game today, our game today about defense, is about getting turnovers. That's what cornerbacks and safeties need to be about. They've kind of taken out the tremendous hitting over the middle, even though we have Abrams who continue to bring the impact, but it's about getting the football, winning the turnover battle. You can look at the stat sheet today, and basically we're tied or we're even, but the turnover battle we lost, and we're going to lose games if we can't win the turnover battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward, though, there is a bright spot. Tight ends balled out today. We are talking tight end and the offense.
By America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Welcome into Raiders Game Day as you are taking a look at Allegiant Stadium, the site of Week 4's matchup, Raiders and the Bills, as we show you our tight ends showing up big time this season and certainly in today's game as you are taking a look at Jason Witten, of course, scoring his first touchdown today in the Raiders uniform. Darren Waller balling out as well, 247 yards, 29 catches, a score on the season. And Foster Moreau, 64 yards, a touchdown, 4 catches. What I see there is an elite wideout, a veteran, an elite tight end, a veteran tight end, a future Hall of Fame tight end, and of course Foster Moreau, who is an up-and-coming tight end. When you see a guy like Jason Witten, what he was able to do for the offense today, talk about what he's able to bring. I mean, we know he's 38 years old, but he's still balling out.
What Jason Witten did today, Witt can do till he's 53 years old. You know, he has been one of the best tight ends in this league for a very long time.
Yes,
and if he has to make big catches across the middle and convert in the red zone and goal line, he could do that all day.
Oh, for sure. And we may have found a situation where you get some matchup problems. So you live in what we call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends and 1 back. That'll force the defense into playing a base with 3 linebackers. So maybe Witten with his old crafty self, and then Waller, you can split him out, match him up with the linebacker, and now you have an extra mismatch. So again, it's just about creating mismatches for your team.
Right.
Let's break down the touchdown, because I know you guys still have a lot to talk about with Jason Witten, but let's take a look first, of course, touchdown scored here.
Starts all with the formation. He's at the point of the bunch, find an open spot, turn to show the numbers, and make yourself a huge target. And Jason Witten, I was watching it live just like you. He was yelling at the top of his lungs, "Come to me now, DC. Come to me now." He wanted that first touchdown in the silver and black, and DC got it to him.
I love the poise of DC, being able to roll right, have the ability to be able to look at his first read. It's covered. He understands the pressure is coming to him. He waits and just in a nick of time throws an accurate throw to the back of the end zone. Reminds me a lot of the 49ers, Joe Montana to Clark, the back of the end zone.
Not
same
bad.
offense and same great player with an outstanding catch by Witten.
I love it. Well, of course, Jason Witten caught up with the media after the game. Let's take a listen to what the tight end had to say.
I think, you know, when you play against good teams, right, your margin is really tight. And, you know, the last couple of weeks, that's been the case. You know, I mean, we knew this Buffalo team was going to be tough to beat, you know, and it sounds cliche, but you can't turn the ball over. You can't have penalties. You can't not start fast and start slow like that and expect to come back and beat teams like Buffalo, playoff caliber team. And they try to control the time of possession, make a lot of plays. So I give them a lot of credit. But, you know, I like this team. I like our football team. You know I'm new here, but played a lot of football. I like our approach. We got a lot of things we can clean up. But spirit's right. You know, after 4 weeks, we're 2-2. We got to improve. But I think we've seen that formula. When we protect the ball, we control, be able to kind of dictate our pace, we have success. And you know, last 2 weeks, kind of uncharacteristically, turnovers have cost us in the slow start. You know, it's a show-me game, you know, and it's you got to make those corrections. And you know, the effort's there. You know, this is a young team that works hard, and the spirit's right, a new city. All that's great, but, you know, when you go out there and play, it's that fine line of execution, you know, and so there's a lot of things to get fixed and get corrected. And you just have to, just the sense of urgency that you have in those moments. We've all had them and throughout our careers. It's just, you know, the good teams, they find ways not to make them, and especially at crunch time. And I think that cost us early on.
Jason Witten, definitely new here, but certainly a leader in the locker room. From Jason Witten to his quarterback, we break down Derek Carr's performance when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
By Sports Water, the official water of the Las Vegas Raiders.
The fighting spirit.
Welcome back to Raiders Game Day here as you are taking a look at the Raider Image Store at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
So awesome. I got to check it out the other day. Everything and anything you could possibly want is in there. Raider image. Is maybe your jersey? Is your jersey there?
I think they say my jersey's technically a throwback now, yeah?
What? Throwback? That's what they say. They're too young for a throwback jersey, man.
Aaron Coscarelli, Marcel Reese, Eric Allen with you here inside the Twitch Lounge at Allegiant Stadium. Look, we want to talk Derek Carr. 311 passing yards, 32 attempts, 2 touchdowns against Buffalo. Didn't have an INT. What did you take away from what number 4 was able to do?
You know, DC is still, I mean, he's playing like DC. He's accurate with the ball. He's poised in the pocket. He's well composed, and he's making smart decisions. He's being extremely smart with the football right now when he's throwing the ball.
Yeah.
So that's what DC does. Right now, we just have to find a way to get more explosive plays in the passing game and stay ahead of the sticks. You see right here, he is finding Nelson Aguilar early and often in the games right now, and he's becoming that guy, that security blanket type.
DC's playing at a Pro Bowl level right now. I mean, just plain and simple. I mean, just an outstanding job of execution. Love the way the last couple of weeks he's been doing this on the outside of the pocket, making plays. That's the second or third time we've seen him. He's ran for a first down. So everything that we talk about all these other quarterbacks and what they're doing outside the pocket, he's doing the same thing, but he's executing inside the pocket. And on the green plays, when the plays are started to dial up to make a big play, he's doing those too.
Absolutely. Look, you know DC's not happy about the loss, but he did make some history today. Take a look. No Raider has now thrown more touchdowns than Derek Carr, surpassing Ken Stabler for the most career passing TDs in Raiders history, 150.
That's a big deal. That's some elite company he's with. That's some elite company. But I will.
He caught up with the press after the game.
I'm sick of losing, Levi. I'm sick of working as hard as I do and as we do, and going out there and losing. I mean, it sucks. Enough is enough, you know. I think that's my message. You know, I'm excited, you know, obviously for that. I dreamed of it when I got drafted here. I looked all those stats up and was like, man, I want to break all these, you know, as a competitor. But I'm sick of losing. Like, enough's enough. I'm tired of it. Yeah, I think, again, Coach telling us to, you know, look at it positively. You know, we are in all these games. We have moved the ball up and down the field in these first 4 games, you know, and, you know, if,
hey,
you know,
we'll have time to chop
blind
that, right?
if you don't think
no?
that, you know,
Okay.
But what's killing us is ourselves. And so, you know, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. We're just killing ourselves. And that's the frustrating part, that the things that are hurting us in these close games is not them, it's us. And that's the hard part to swallow, because, you know, you work so hard in practice, you wake up early, try and outwork everybody and give this organization everything you got, and then it's like one thing here and there, it's like, dang, you know. So it's encouraging for what it is, but at the same time, you go home and you're hot, you know.
He's done a heck of a job for this football team. All we've been through with the virus and not having any off-season program and trying to break in 2 rookie receivers and then losing 2 rookie receivers and not having Trent and Richie, and it's been tough on them. We played a great schedule, but I wouldn't question one thing about Derek Carr. He is giving you everything he's got, and he's performing pretty darn good. Thank you, guys.
I don't know, guys. What did you hear? He said enough is enough, and he is sick of losing.
You got to love that from DC. When your quarterback is frustrated with losing and he's setting records, you feel that urgency from him.
Yeah.
And you got to love hearing that from Derek Carr. I mean, listen, he said we're killing ourselves, and we are. His best throw, the best throw I've seen all day today, was called back on an illegal procedure that I didn't feel was a legal procedure, but it was a phenomenal touchdown to Nelson Aguilar. So Derek Carr is doing everything he can do to help this team win, and we just have to raise our game level.
And that's what I'm talking about, one of those green plays, one of those plays that you designed to score a touchdown. After you've built up this formation and the personnel packages, he is right on the money. Like I said, I think he's playing at a Pro Bowl level. And before, I thought there were all kind of different voices coming out of the Raiders locker room. There's one voice right now, and that's Derek Carr, and he is the leader of this football team, and he is going to go and play at a very high level and take a little more responsibility on all of this going on right now with the turnover. So again, I think he's playing at a really high level, playing good football right now. Just needs to raise the level of the rest of the guys around him.
One last thing I'll say about DC is, knowing him, he is an elite mental competitor. He prepares himself every week to be elite mentally. And knowing him the way that I know him, he will trade all the records in, all the historic accolades that he is setting right now in for wins for his football team. And that's what you have to appreciate from Derek Carr.
Absolutely. And having to overcome the adversity we saw today, missing guys on the offensive line and, of course, some wideouts, certainly. As we will be with you momentarily, Raiders Game Day, we're going to talk Art Shell and the Hall of Fame. Don't go anywhere.
By San Manuel Casino, official Southern California casino of Allegiant Stadium.
Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Take a look at our Hall of Fame wall here at Allegiant Stadium. Speaking of Hall of Famers, yesterday, 31 years ago, Al Davis hired the first modern football era black head coach in Art Shell. Take a look.
In 1989, Davis made Art Shell the first African-American coach of the modern era.
I don't believe the color of my skin entered into this decision. And I think if you know Al Davis or you know this organization, you'll understand that.
One thing you got to understand is the only way to play this game is you got to get down in the dirt and get nasty. Let's go.
When I got the job, I felt that I would get some pushback from around the country. But this country, I felt, had evolved at that time where they could accept me. And I remember the first game we played against the New York Jets on Monday Night Football.
History will be made tonight, the first time that we have had a black head coach in the National Football League. There he is, Art Shell.
Al Davis was a cunning man. He made the decision to hire me before a Monday Night Football game. Just think about that. He made that change because he knew that nationally everyone would be watching.
Art Shell has won in his Raider debut. He is no longer the first black coach in the NFL. He's just a winning coach right now.
Al Davis didn't give a damn whether I was black. You know what he said when he hired me? He said, I'm not hiring you because you're black. I'm hiring you because you're a Raider. And I know you. And I know what you're capable of doing. That's why he hired me. Not because I was black. I just happen to be black. And I love Al Davis to death.
Very cool piece on Art Shell. I know both of you guys have loved and talked about Art Shell and what he means to you. How do you believe he impacted this team? And talk about Al Davis being a pioneer and making that decision.
I mean, Art Shell becoming the head coach of the Raiders was not just team changing or culture change, it was world changing. Yeah. And the greatest thing about that piece was Art said he knew Pops, Al Davis, didn't hire him because he was black. Al hired him because he knew he was qualified and he was a Raider. And that was the most important thing. And that says so much about the legacy of the great Al Davis.
Yeah, back in that time in the league, I was a young player. It was my second year in the league. And it wasn't a surprise that Al Davis was the first because we all knew about the rich tradition of the Oakland and the LA Raiders. We knew what kind of person Al was and how important it was for him to hire someone within, and we just had so much respect as a player and as a coach for Coach Shell. So I'm just congratulations to this organization always being out in front of all of this, and again, just a tremendous job. They came to Philly in '89, and again, we just couldn't believe that this organization, again, was at the forefront of just not just this, but just all kind of different with Amy Trask years ago and Tom Flores years ago. So again, this organization has always been out in front.
Yeah, you mentioned Tom Flores, Al Davis hiring the first Hispanic head coach in Tom Flores. And speaking of Tom Flores, we think there should be more Raiders in the Hall of Fame. Of course, 26 so far. Tom Flores nominated, Woodson, Cliff Branch, Jim Plunkett. As we take a look at some of these names, who do you believe should
Lester Hayes and Jack Tate. Let me tell you, Lester Hayes was the most dominant cornerback as far as press coverage, bump and run, had 13 interceptions in 1 year. Woo! I mean, just 13 interceptions. Really was one of the catalysts for that team when they went to the Super Bowl. And Jack Tatum, how fearsome was Jack Tatum at safety? Just kind of set the trend of being a knockout safety.
I can say so much about every guy on that list. Charles Woodson, who I played with, who you played with and mentored. But the guy I want to talk about is the late, great Cliff Branch.
21.
2-1 was phenomenal. He was one of my mentors coming into this league. And listen, I won't just talk about his regular season stats, but they say postseason makes the legend, makes the man.
Right.
And Cliff Branch has more postseason yards, receptions, and touchdowns than almost half the guys, receivers that are in this Hall of Fame. How is Cliff Branch not in the NFL Hall of Fame right now?
Don't know why. 21 needs to be there for sure.
2-1 needs to be there, and it needs to be there right now. It's still going to be too late, but we need to be in there right now. 2-1, baby.
And how about our own Eric Allen, also on the nominee list this
go,
year
EA.
alongside those guys. Congratulations, that's huge.
I appreciate it. It's big. It's a big
That
time.
is
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah, so it would be nice being with Charles Woodson.
Yeah,
Sweet.
talk about it
But
then,
then,
EA.
yeah, you know, just trying to do my thing.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, plenty more Raiders game day with these guys. We'll be back with you momentarily. Don't go anywhere. More Raiders game day when we return.
Let me get some fullbacks in there.
Oh.
This week's Intermountain Healthcare Impact Team of the Week is the Las Vegas Warriors. The members of the youth football team, who are between the ages of 5 and 14, benefit from mentorship both in the classroom and on the field. In the community, the Warriors spend their time giving back by donating food to the less fortunate. Congrats on being named the Intermountain Healthcare Impact Team of the Week. Speaking of impact, it's time to talk our silver lining player of the game. Tip your hat off to Daniel Carlson, the kicker, who went 3 for 3 today. One of them from beyond the 50-yard line, scored 11 points for the Raiders today. He was clutch when we needed him, guys.
He was. And listen, having a kicker like Daniel Carlson is a huge benefit and weapon for your team and your offense in particular, especially when you're going down at the end of the half.
Yep.
As you've seen the Raiders come down with so much confidence because they know once they cross the 50, they got a chance.
Yeah, and we know how difficult it is nowadays when they've made it more difficult to kick field goals. I mean, he's just money. He's been able to come up and be a solid force in his football team, so congratulations, Carlson.
Yeah, he's kicked from beyond the 50-yard line 3 times. That's not easy to do this season, so certainly a guy that's clutch when you need him to be. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at how the rest of the NFL did Week 4 roundup. That's next. Don't go anywhere.
Brady fires underneath. Vaughn. He gets there. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Here are your NFL scores around the league, brought to you by Sports Water as we take a look at the AFC West. Chargers, 5 touchdowns, courtesy of Tom Brady, means the Chargers.
Early on, I was like, wow, the Chargers are blowing these guys out.
It was looking good for them. Nope.
Captain Superman.
They lost.
Don't count out Terrific Tom now.
That's right. 38,
That much.
31.
Good for Tom.
The Broncos had a win Thursday against the Jets, and the Chiefs, you know, they play that game Monday night against the Patriots. But
Yeah.
there were some interesting results in today's slate of games, gentlemen. For you, Week 4, what was your biggest surprise?
I'm looking at Cleveland. It hasn't come up yet, but Cleveland, you got Baker Mayfield and company going for 49 points today on Dallas.
What?
How about Joe Burrow, the #1 pick from LSU, getting his first win?
First one.
Yeah, getting his first one. It's good to see a young man starting so early, kind of getting it done. So
Right.
congratulations,
It's hard
Joe
for
Burrow.
those quarterbacks.
Oh, man. Seeing all those different fronts, guys drifting back, got 4-man fronts, 5-man fronts.
That learning curve now.
It's high.
It's high.
My biggest surprise for Week 4 was not necessarily what happened today, but a culmination of the past. The Texans are now 0-4.
Yeah.
They lost, of course, 31-23 to the Vikings, but they are winless. And, of course, you know they sent their first and second round pick this year to the Dolphins.
Right, and their best receiver to Arizona.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But they still have a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah, they do.
A phenomenal young quarterback in Deshaun Watson.
Oh, for sure.
Just can't seem to really put it together.
Defense, offense, quarterback, franchise guy, coach maybe on the hot seat.
Ooh, Bill O'Brien, watch out. How about the NFC East? The Washington football team's leading with a 1-3 score, guys. A 1-3 record. Come on.
Listen,
Yeah, so all the Cowboys fans are right now sinking low. The Eagles fans are down low. The Giants fans, they get their Barkley, their terrific running back, hurt in week 1. So this is a division that's kind of struggling right now.
Everybody has a chance in that division right now.
Yeah, right. You're not out of it.
But even around the league, there's been a ton of offensive points this week.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's lighting up the scoreboards. Not a lot of defense being played. Not a lot of takeaways. Just a ton of offensive points being on the board.
I attribute that to no preseason. No preseason, no tackling live, because you're not going to be tackling your guys live.
Right.
Didn't really have a training camp. So the offenses right now are really doing an outstanding job of racking up the points, as we saw with Josh, and our own offense is playing at a high level.
Right.
Well, it is time for one of my favorite segments, guys. I don't know if you like What Was He Thinking? We're going to show you maybe a head scratcher from the week. Joe Burrow looking like a champ, right? Super fun.
Hey,
oh,
you guys go to the same tailor. Oh, you guys go to the same guy?
Listen, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the What Was He Thinking? I'm going to tell you exactly what Joe Burrow was thinking. He woke up this morning, he brushed his teeth, he yawned and said, listen, I'm an NFL starting quarterback, and I need to get my first win.
I'm a winner.
Let me dress like a winner today.
Yeah, because you are dressed like a winner. That's right.
Go get your first win, baby.
You got to let me know about that tailor.
His might be brown. I think his is brown, though.
No, you guys have walked out the same tailor at the same time.
Hey, man, listen, I might have to put a
Joe
call in
today.
and figure out. He told me this was a one-on-one.
Okay. Well, he did pull off a W today.
That's
so
right.
There you go, looking like a winner, definitely. All right, coming up, is it going to get any easier for the Raiders? We take a look at the silver and black schedule when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Raiders game day back with you. Aaron Coscarelli, Marcel Reese, Eric Allen here inside Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Week 4 against the Buffalo Bills. Tough loss today, of course. The Vegas Raiders falling to 2-2. We say this every week, gentlemen, but it's true. It's not going to get any easier moving forward. Next week's opponent, silver and black, head to. It doesn't get any. They've had a really tough first quarter of games, and of course, week 5 is the date with the Chiefs in Arrowhead. They played the Patriots on Monday night, but as we take a look, what do you believe is the key in beating the Chiefs?
Well, I'm going to say this.
All right.
When you come out, it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders. There is no love lost. We don't like them at all. And you shouldn't need any motivation to get up for this game. This is a rivalry game, okay? You're not going to have the crowd making all the noise now because of the situation of the NFL and no fans. So listen, the Raiders are just going to have to play fundamental football. We say it every week.
Right.
Line up man on a man. Make sure everybody has a man in front of them and trying your best to keep them in front of you.
Yeah, they probably have the best, when you're talking about best combination of quarterback, receiver, tight end in the National Football League. I mean, these guys do a fantastic job. They're fast. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins can run. They have an outstanding tight end in Kelsey. And of course, the reigning Super Bowl MVP is the one we all try and look to build a franchise around if you don't have a guy like Derek Carr, okay? Defensively, though, we're 27th in stopping the run. What does that mean? That means it's time to load up that box, and we're going to run right at them. Run the ball right down their mouth and dictate the tempo of the football game, and that will take the ball away from their talented offense.
Well, that's the best way to limit that offense is to keep them off the field. Keep them sitting on their hands, and when it's December, you keep them cold, and when it's now, you keep them whatever. Just keep them off the field.
Right. That's
you
right.
Understand? When you're turning around and handing the ball off to Josh Jacobs and Booker back there and Jalen Richard, you are taking the air out of the ball, which means you're just shortening that game. That clock is running. They get less possessions. They can't score as many points if they don't have the ball in their hands. And you have one of the best running backs in the game, and you have a superior offensive line and the best offensive line coach in this league.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of what you have to get back to. You have to get back to what we do best. The Raiders run the football, and after running the play action, then you run the play action, and you have your ultimate tight ends, who we talked to you about earlier, making plays, finding those mismatches, whether it's Waller or whatever. You have to find a way to get these tight ends involved in the game.
The key mentally for a player in your mindset is don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype of the defending Super Bowl champions or the reigning MVP. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't bow down to anybody. You step up, you hit them in the mouth, and see if they could take it. Impose your will as the Raiders on this team.
And you talk about the time of possession, making sure Josh Jacobs gets the rock early and often, because the Chiefs have beaten their opponents 8 of the last 9 games by double digits. So slowing the Kansas City Chiefs down by owning the clock, keeping the tempo, certainly in their way, might be the way to get a W. For you, though, what is the toughest part about playing at Arrowhead? Because there's not going to be fans as we take a look at the AFC West division standings. What is the challenging aspect of playing at Arrowhead? You've done it a lot, Marcel.
To be honest, you know, historically for me, in my 9 seasons with the Raiders, we played them at Arrowhead late in the season. So it was cold, it was chilly, but it wasn't necessarily the weather, it was the condition of the field. The turf was just trash. You know what I mean? That center of the field, it was a different color, and it was just icy. No matter what cleats you were sliding around, it was hard to get your footing. But right now, it's early in the season, it's week 5, they haven't played much there, so there isn't going to be any issues there. It's not the loud crowd. You feed off that.
Right.
You know, beat them at home and take their chickens.
Some of the young guys are getting a break here because how their stands are set up, if there were fans, the fans are like right behind you, and they're screaming at you. They're calling your name out. They're telling you the play you busted the series before. So it's a very difficult place to play if they're fans. So again, the momentum is so important to kind of create your own momentum on both offense and defense to kind of take that away from the Chiefs' offense and defense.
And it's not going to be a packed house. It's not going to be a full stadium, but there will be fans there at Arrowhead. I'm sure they will be letting their presence
They will.
known.
They will. They will try.
The Raiders.
Scattered out there.
All right, well, we're going to talk about that game against the Patriots in a moment, but there is a Monday night doubleheader. Atlanta heading to Green Bay. Winless Atlanta facing the undefeated Packers. I need to get who you got on Monday night, Atlanta or Green Bay? I'll go first because, of course, ladies first. And I'm going with the Packers. That's an easy one. Falcons haven't really shown me any reason to believe otherwise, so I'm going with the Packers. How about you?
You're 1-3, but I'm going to give you a win right now because it's going to be the Packers, too. I'm going with the Packers as well. A-Rod and the Packers on Monday
I'm going with the Packers, too, because it may come down to a special teams play, and I'm not sure if Atlanta knows how to recover.
Or if Atlanta gets up 28 or something, you know.
Let's give it away. That's right.
All right, well, we were talking about the doubleheader, Patriots and Chiefs. I'm going to go first. We're not going to see Cam Newton. I didn't even think the Chiefs were going to lose with Cam Newton playing against the Patriots, with Cam Newton playing with the Patriots. So I'm going Chiefs on this one. It's easy for me.
Again, Aaron's 1-3. I am going with the Patriots. Bill Belichick's going to have a plan for that Chiefs offense and shut them down. It doesn't matter who their quarterback's going to be, Stidham, Hoyer.
No.
They're going to figure out a way. New England Patriots.
That's a good one. I know you're going to try and go with the Patriots, Bill Belichick, the defensive game, but no, it's not going to happen. The Kansas City Chiefs right now offensively are going to rip the Patriots apart. Yeah.
What's your record again, EA?
I think I should be 500.
Oh, okay.
I should be 500.
Are you 500? I know I'm 1-3 because this guy keeps.
I said I should be. I don't know what I am. I should be. You know, somebody keeps changing the scores afterwards.
We're officially in the books, gentlemen. Eric Allen, Marcel Reese. I'm Erin Coscarelli. We appreciate you joining us each and every week. Raiders Game Day. We'll see you next time.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Constellation, brought to you by Modelo, setting the gold standard for authentic Mexican beer since 1925. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. By Credit One Bank, the official card of the Raiders. By Twitch, the official live streaming platform of the Las Vegas Raiders.